Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today you join me out on a beach just down from Boscombe. As he spoke about, this is a pre-recorded one. I've come down here. It's not a bad day actually in January. The sun's out and I'm hoping to catch anything. A dab, plaice, anything. It's just, I'm just trying to jump in now and like I spoke about and do these videos for you. As you can see, I got Boscombe Pier to my left, it'll be your right, and I've just come about 200 meters down. I parked the car just behind me and it's like a 30-meter walk into the beach. It's quite cold, but coming to the end of January it's going to be, but I've just come down here and I've got a selection of worm baits which I'll run you through. I've got 2 rods out in the water now, and I'm just come down here and see if I can just scratch out the fish few. It'd be nice to see if I can get an early flatfish. I'm going to try and target small turbot because I need one for my Tronics Pro Speed Season, or a small brill, and then I'm going to see if I can catch a small plaice or a dab or anything. But flatfish I'm going to be mainly targeting, but hopefully we can get into some today. Yeah, but it's lovely. We've got a little bit of a break in the weather, so I thought I'd nip out for you and do a short video. I'll fish for about 3 hours and then I'll get myself back. But yeah, it's lovely. I'm the only one down here. It's a midweek day, so I just thought I'd come down to get out of the house and give it a go. Yeah, nice to have a little bit of a nice weather. Well, hopefully we can get into some sort of a flat fish for you, and as usual we can go through the rigs which I'm going to be using, baiting up, little hints and tips, and then I'll run you through the rods and that. I have pre-casted it out and it's pretty flat all the way out. As you can see, I've got a groin there. There's a little divot in front of that groin which I might try and work, because if you look back on one of my previous videos when I was fishing the Armed Forces Beach Championships, I found a little divot and a little sandbank at the end of the groin, and I picked up some plaice and a gurnard on it, so I'll definitely try that today. And then I'll run you through the tactics I'm going to try to see if I can winkle out the fish for you. Right, as always, the rods and reels I'm using, to my left here I got the competition blackout. That's coupled up with 16-pound blades, 60-pound tapered shock leader, and I got an up and over pulley rig, the one I designed in there, and that's out there. And on the right I've got a competition Naga, and that's just got a single up and over to get as much distance as I could. That's got 16-pound blades on the casting special, and I got a Daiwa salt this then on the bit of an overkill for this. But I weren't going to rummage around in the shed to get kit out, so I just add those to hand. And then what I'm going to do is I'll work various distance in the water to see if we can find any fish. Yeah, but it's lovely, man. There's a little bit of a breeze coming from left to right, but it's manageable. In my beach buddy there now, it's just nice to sit here. So what we'll do is now we'll jump in the beach buddy as normal. I'll run you through the rigs I'm going to be using, lead weights, and then baiting up. And then hopefully we can get a fish on camera for you.
As the sun slowly crept into the sky, it filled the morning air with warmth and life. Sounds of birds in harmony, and you there right next to me. Oh, no matter where we go, world is yours to own. Through all the storms, I'm by your side. Through days of warmth, I'm by your side. Like the stars and the moon in the nighttime sky, I'm by your side.
Right, the rigs I'm going to be using today to see if I can catch some sort of a flatfish here is the up and over pulley rig. You have seen it before. Obviously it's on my YouTube channel if you want to make it. Also it's in Showcast if you want to purchase them, and the link and all that's in the bottom here. I've got it on a rig winder here, and they do come in bags with Showcast and it's all labelled up and that, but I like to put mine on the rig. So the top part, as you know, is a pulley, and on there I use small beads. As you notice, I got a little tiny pop-up, 2 yellow beads. That comes down then, and that's 20 pound fluorocarbon. Comes down to my Tronics Pro anti-tangle sleeve, and then I've got 60 pound fluorocarbon, and then it comes down to a bead, the swiveling bead which clips onto my main line. That comes down then, and then I've got the up and over clip on the spring. That comes down then to my angel clip where my lead will go on, and that's free running, and I got a little stopper there which stops it going too far up the line. That comes down then to my power swivel, my anti-tangle sleeve, and then I've got 4 foot of fluorocarbon, and then that comes down to my bottom snud. As you can see, I always speak about, I don't like massive beads here because it hinders in the casting, and I just like to keep everything aerodynamic. Little stop knot there, and then I've got my yellow, my green and black beads. Spinner blade on a clavicle in the middle to cause some commotion for the flatfish. Comes down, and then I just got a size 2. Whoa. And it comes down then, and I just got a size 2 Tronics Pro. And he lost my beach spuddy in. The wind has proper changed direction. It was coming that way, but that's what it is. And then on the lead on there, because the tide when I cast it out just now, it's just trickling through, so I don't have it fixed. As you know, I always speak about it, I like to have it moving. So I've gone for the Showcast lollipop lead. Fantastic lead that is, to allows you, when the tide does slow down, just to trundle it through. What I'll do is then after, I'll take you through the other legs, you know, like the Showcast bomb lead, and then if it does proper go through, I'll take you onto the Showcast hybrid lead just to let it trot through now. So what I'll do is now I'll quickly get these, I'll hold on to my beach buddy, I'll quickly get these baited up, and I'll take you through that, and then we'll get them out into the water and see if we can catch some sort of a flatfish for you. Oh, believe it or not, I'm just going to start baiting up, and we had a sleet storm. Yeah, I don't know where that came from. It hadn't predicted rain or anything, so I had to quickly jump you back in here. So what I've done when you weren't waiting, obviously said I'm going to see if I can target a turbot or a brill here, because you can get them off Boston Pier and around the pier. So what I've gone for there is, as you can see, what I just showed you, I've got my little yellow pop-up, just for a visual for them, and then I've whipped on then a bit of squid guts and a little slizzle of squid then to make it look rather fish-like, and I've had them on that before. And then it comes down, as we spoke about, to my rig. I've now clipped on the lollipop lead here, and you can see it running on the angel clip. And the beads, which I always speak about, use small beads, don't use anything big. These are, you know, 1 mil beads. And then that comes down, that's all I've done there then. I've got black lug, which is a little bit going, but then I've whipped it on. And I've got fresh mussel, and I've just whipped the sand in it now, and I've got fresh mussel, which I've whipped into the side. And there you can see then is my beads and my spinner on a clavicle. That's what's going to go out next. What I'll do is, because I had to bring you back in and I quickly baited that up. When I'm baiting up the next rig, I'll take you through the process again. I've left my rig, my 2 first casts out there now to soak for about 10 minutes. I'm going to leave them for 5 minutes more. There's hardly any tide movement at the moment, so I'm hoping when the tide picks up a little bit, I should be able to winkle one out. The water clarity is pretty good. Like I spoke about, it is quite brisk. But hopefully we can get into some sort of a flatfish like we spoke about today. And just a quick one as well, as you can see I got a new top on, which is from my great Polish friend, Lesvik. We've known each other for years now, we've always helped each other when we go to Norway. every Christmas he sends my family over a little box from Poland with all Polish chocolates, gingerbread men and everything. And this year, I've got to say, he sent it over and they got the Polish flag, the Welsh flag, my name and his club and that on there. So Lexic, thank you very much for that, and thank you for all the gifts you give me every year. He's given me a mug to go to Norway. I've just made him a load of rigs for when he goes to Norway, which will be, he's probably got it by now by the time this video comes out. So hopefully they'll work for you out there, Lexic. But what a gentleman he is, you know. We speak weekly, you know, obviously through Messenger because of the language barrier. But we talk about fishing all the time, different styles of fishing. When he goes to Norway, I give him marks and rigs and tell him the tides and that. Wonderful man, I gotta say it. But yeah, thank you very much for my new top. Well smart, man. I'm well warm, so I'll wear that with pride. Thank you very much, Lexic. Yeah, my first cast out then, I had a little bit of an inquiry. But the wind is swinging terrible. I don't know if it was crabs or... But it was definitely an inquiry on you. So that's a good sign. I don't think there's anything on you, but it was definitely an inquiry on you. But it's a beautiful day, man. I'm just hoping there is a right early flatfish here. But it's just nice to get out on a nice day like this because the weather has been horrendous. And I've seen a little bit of a window, so I thought I'd come down here, and it's not far and I'm like 30 metres away from the car. And it's just relaxing fishing. I think this time of the just catching a fish is a bonus. No, I don't think there's anything on here. I thought there might have been. Must have been crabs or something. Snip down. No, nothing. Somebody's had to go to the bottom one, but I just think it was crabs, to tell you the truth. Well, I'll get the next one clipped out now and get it out there, and hopefully I can get you a flatfish. Right, the next rig which I'm going to bait up to put out there now is my take on a one up, one down. Bog standard as normal. If you want to see how to make it, it's on my channel. But if you don't want to make it yourself, just go on to Showcast website, link below, and it's in there. The good thing how I've done it now, there's no crimps, there's no springs, it's all just one flow in trace, so there's no weakness in there. So as you can see, I got aero beads as I always use, power swivel, and that's trapped in by another aero bead. Comes down to another power swivel. I got my Tronics Pro anti-tangle, and then it comes down then to my first snuds, and as you can see then, that's on a pulley. So you follow your main body down, and then I've got a little stop knot there, so then my lead, which is on an imp, on a power swivel, can move between it. Comes down and it's trapped then by two aero beads again, nice small aerodynamic beads in the name. Then I've got a power swivel, a Tronics Pro anti-tangle, and that comes down then to 3 foot of fluorocarbon, 20 pound, and that comes down to my cascade swivel. And then I've got a short snud, and yet again I got the same configuration, bait stops, my 2mm beads, my spinner blade on a clavicle, and a size 2 hook. Brilliant rig this is. I've caught countless fish in it, and exactly the same. You don't have to use it for plate fishing, you can use it for any style of fishing, so all you need to do is just up the hook size and then the poundage of your snuds for the relevant fish you're targeting. So what I'll do is next, now I'm going to show you, because I couldn't do it last time because of the rain, how I'm going to bait this up to see if I can catch a turbot, brill and places as well. When you're targeting the turbot and the brill down here, fish bait is quite good, but I've also had them on squid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly bait up how I do it with a squid. Get a baiting needle. A lot of people throw it away, but I don't. I think it's fantastic bait, the squid guts. What I do is then just simply put the slop in on my baiting needle, and then I've cut then, as you can see here, a slither of squid. So what I do is I just offer it up to it, so it's like that. Get your bait cotton, Right. And then just lightly bait it up, like so. Just whip it on. Probably one of my favourite parts of the squid, the guts, especially when I'm in, you know, boat fishing. You know, it's pretty good. And that's all that does then, the squid, the side we cut up, it just gives it a little bit more binding so it doesn't all just disintegrate. So then you come out with a little goo, and I like to leave a little bit of a tail like so. Yeah, I'm glad that little bit of rain blew over. I was like, oh no. And then simply lightly hook your snood through, push up your bait stop. So then you're like that with your hook quite proud, and just simply whip it on. Yeah, countless times I see people throwing away the squid guts. Fantastic bait, man. I know it's all sloppy and all that, but all you do is just add a bit of squid, you know, mantle to it, and it holds it quite firm, and gives a lot of scent out in the water as well. And as you can see then, just slide down your bait stops. Like so. You can see it then, that's lovely presented then for the turbot. Hook proud, you got all the scent of the guts coming out, and then I got the mantle just laying along it to bind it all together. Very good bait that is. Well, hopefully it'll pick me up a little turbot or a brill, because you couldn't get them on, yeah. On the next hook end here, I'm simply going to put, I got blacks here, they're a bit naughty to tell you the truth, they're just starting to go. But getting fresh blacks where I live is a nightmare. So I've got ones here, but they're a bit tricky to tell you the truth, I'm not going to lie to you. However you want to bait them up, but as you've seen in my previous videos, I like to put them on first and then whip them. If you want to whip them on the baiting needle, you know, that's just personal preference, but I find I get a better presented bait if I thread them on. They are well sticky, these are. So hopefully the tab will pick up on the stink in it, because I think, but that is not nice at all. Like old man's feet. As you can see, it's proper sticky there. I'd like to have got fresher, but like I said, where I am in the New Forest, trying to get fresh blacks is absolutely a nightmare. So then I just pass my baiting needle through. I just find it binds better to the hook doing it, but because you know you're whipping it to the bait, to the baiting needle, and it's like a different shape then when you put it on the hook, but that's just me. And then just simply whip it on. But what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to put a bit of fresh mussel just to tip it off with. Tell her I haven't done for ages before. Tonic's Pro Bait Cotton. I'm actually coming to the end of one. This lasted me months. So just quickly whip it all up. That there, and then I've got a mussel here. The fresh mussel. I don't want all of that on there because I don't think the fish are going to be very big. Just for the visual thing. So what I've done is I just cut it in half, and I'm going to lay that along the back. Because as most people know, mussel is the main source of food. You catch a lot of the place on the mussel beds and that. So just trying to match that straightly, and it's done well for me in the past, you know. And that's all I've done is then I've folded it out and I just placed it along the worm, like you whip it on. And we'll give it a go. Pull your baiting needle out, and as you can see then how perfectly presented that is. I got my hook well proud, I got my stinking black lug, and then I've got the mussel all intertwined in it, perfect. And my spinner blade then, and my beads. And that's all ready to go. That rig is brilliant, casts like a bullet. Very similar to the up and over pulley rig, which you've seen I use. The only thing with that, it's got a cascade swivel in the middle of it. Yeah, but the tide's just ebbing now nicely. There's a bit of tide movement now, so if I'm going to get a fish, I should get one now. But if I don't get one, I don't get one, especially this time of the year. I'll scratch around and hopefully I can get you into a fish. So I've been fishing for about an hour and 20 minutes now, and I haven't had a bite, to tell you the truth, so I'm going to change my tactics. So what I'm going to do on my right hand rod is I'm just going to go for an up and over with a single hook, spinner blades and beads, but just a single up and over, and I'm going to hit that as hard as I can to see if there's any out further. But what I'm going to do with my other rod is then, what I've done here is I've got a 2 up, 1 down, 3 foot snuds, there's stones sticking there, and a pop up with a little slither of squid. Comes down to my other snud then. I'm going to cast this just at the end of the groins. You've seen it working for me before. Same again, little pop up there, little tiny bit of squid. 3 foot away from that, I've just got a little spinner blade and a strip of black leg. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast that over just in front of the groin, because just in front of the groins normally you get like a bowl or a little sandbar, and I see if I can scratch anything out there, because my other rods, to tell you the truth, I didn't expect much. I thought I could have winkle one out, but I'm going to see if I can scratch a fish out in there. But what I've been doing as well is a good tip for you as well. When you cast your rod out when you flat fish fishing, every 2 minutes I'm going up to my rod, just giving it a few turns just to move it. Don't leave it static. Sometimes that can bring on a place or a dab or a turbot just by moving it, and you're covering a lot more ground. So I've been doing that every 2 minutes, couple of turns, leave it 2 minutes, couple of turns. I've been doing that with both rods, but it hasn't worked at the moment. But you know, because I am generally clutching the straws here this time of the year, but that can help you sometimes when you flat fish fishing, just to keep the bait moving. Don't leave it static in one place. But if you want to come down here, as I spoke about, I'm just to the right, about 200 metres from Boscombe Pier. The car is like 30 metres behind me. It's brilliant for all ability of anglers. There's toilets 50 metres away. So if you come fishing and you need to, a toilet all accessible all the time, there's one right there, perfect for that. It is, for the elderly and that, if you need to go to the toilet all the time, because sometimes it can be a bit awkward if you need to go to the toilet on a beach, especially when there's a lot of dog walkers and a lot of people on the beach. You could just nip up to the toilet, but there it's even got showers, so if you want to go for a dip and that. Yeah, it's lovely little Marcus's. I haven't fished it for years. I just thought I'd come down. I'm a bit out of next season, but like I said, I'm just recording it to put it in the bank for when I won't be able to fish. And hopefully you can get some hints and tips how to fish a nice sandy beach for a flat fish. And hopefully I can get into one for you. But it's just nice to get out to the house. On a nice little day, like I said, it is a bit fresh, the sun's out. But it's just that horrible time of year again. I just thought, I had a 3 days, so I thought I'd come down and have a fish for you. If we blank, we blank, but that's fishing. But I'm out here giving it a go. And this time of the year, I think you just got to get out and give it a go. Sometimes you can hit the fish, sometimes you can't. Yeah, but this is a lovely little area, accessible for all abilities of anglers. If you can't walk far, you just straight across by there. Lovely. So that's my next tactics now is I'm going to cast one to maximum distance with a single hook, and the other one then I'm just going to fish in front of that groin to see if there's a bowl there and see if I can scratch something out close in. Oh well, my last casts are out now, and I have tried everything. In, out, distance, different types of rigs, smaller than my bait. I've got a scratching rig out now just in front of the groin there. I've had about 4 or 5 casts doing that, and the bait's me coming back in untouched. I know I was chancing my luck, but it was a lovely day. It's a bit early for everything, but I just wanted to come out to see if I could sneak some sort of a flat fish out. I did fish the ebb. I would have liked probably to fish the flood, but I couldn't because of the timings. I fished now for 2.5 hours. I only paid for 3 hours parking, so I'm going to start packing up now. But it's been a lovely day, lovely area to fish. I definitely, after my operation, I'd like to come back here and give it a try, because it looks lovely. And like I said, it's accessible for all anglers. You've got the toilets there, you know, your car's 30 metres away. I would have thought they'd produce ray in darkness. It'd be nice to come back and to give it a try. But I'm going to pack my beach buddy away now. I'm going to leave those two out when I'm packing away. If I have anything, I'll get back to you with it. But I wouldn't mount much hope, to tell you the truth. But yeah, just nice to get out in the fresh air, get a bait in the water. It's just been nice to watch everything go by, just nice to get chilled. So I'm going to start getting those away now. But if I have anything, I'll get back to you. Oh, I thought I had a bite then on my left hand rod, the scratching one in the side. I was praying, I think, more than anything. Yeah, but yeah, thank you very much for watching. Apologies there was no fish in this one, but there was loads of hints and tips how I done it. I took you through rigs and baiting up and that. But that's fishing for you. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. If I don't see you on the beach, I'll see you on the channel, and hopefully you enjoy the fishing when it picks up.